So in the previous class, we were discussing the etching process. In that, we have seen two different processes like wet etching and dry etching. In dry etching, we have seen the setup for the dry etching. So this was the setup. In that, we were basically going to uh, create an high energy ion beam, and that ion beam will be uh, constituting a positive and a negative charges, and overall we call it a plasma. Okay, so that plasma will be having high energy plasma that will basically help in removing the selected portion of the semiconductor surface. So here we will be using high ion energy beam. So in the previous class, we have seen how ion beam energy or how ion bombardment energy we can increase or decrease, and how the configuration should be in case of a dry etching. So basically, we have seen different parameters. So the two different parameters that will be affecting the dry etching are, so the parameters that will be affecting the dry etching will be, the first one is the ion bombardment energy, and the second one is the generation of reactant, or we call it the reactive species. So second parameter that will be is generation of reactant, or we call it reactive species. So these two are the parameters that will be affecting the dry etching. So one of the important parameter is ion beam, ion bombardment energy basically. So how we are going to uh, provide energy by using the setup that we are going to use, and how this energy can be increased or decreased, that will be depending on different parameters. And also some of the methods of dry etching requires less energy and some are required high energy. Even if this ion bombardment energy will be high, then it can damage the substrate also, because it is high bombardment energy. It is unlike the chemical. Like in chemicals were specific to the reaction. If silicon SiO2 need to be removed, the chemical will reacting only to this SiO2 only. It will not be reacting with the semiconductor surface. Okay, but in case of ion bombardment energy, if ions are having energy, sufficient energy, it can remove SiO2. Along with that, if it is having high energy, it will not be identifying either it is SiO2 or semiconductor surface is there. Whenever wherever this will be projected, it will remove the whole area. Okay, so here ion bombardment energy is required based on the application. So either we will be using less energy or high energy. Okay, so in that also, in dry etching, there are some mechanisms that we need to follow, or basically whatever techniques are there in dry etching, that we will be using either of these mechanisms. So in dry etching also, there is a possibility of chemical reactions. Okay, there is a possibility of a chemical reaction. So this dry etching can be having a chemical reaction in nature. Okay, so this etching mechanism in dry etching can be a type of, that is of chemical. So in that case, basically here CF4 is break into highly reactive fluorine plus CF3. Okay, So this will be using as you can say catalyst, or that will be used for reacting in case of dry etching. So here this type of chemical reactions takes place. So in dry etching also there is a possibility like it will be having a chemical type of reaction taking place. If it is having a chemical type of reaction taking place, its property will be like it will be less anisotropic, less anisotropic, or we can call it will be isotropic. It will be isotropic means it will be having uniform etching in all direction. It will be less anisotropic. Ideally, we prefer this, but we prefer anisotropic. That means it should be only in one direction, oriented in one direction. But it is chemical type of reaction is there in this type of dry aging, then it will be like isotropic in nature. So we can remove this. So basically, it will be an isotropic in nature. Also, its property is like if it is isotropic and it is a chemical reaction is going to take place, then its selectivity will be high. So it will be having high selectivity. Okay. The next method is called physical. So in dry etching, one dry etching can be of chemical type of reaction will be taking place. One will be of type like physical. So your physical means this physical type is also called as sputtering or called ion milling process. Okay. So here in physical, we will be removing the selected portion of the semiconductor surface without using any chemical. We will be using with the help of a force, with the help of high force, and that high force will be generated with the help of high ion bombardment energy. So the ions will be having high bombardment energy, and this high energy will be having high force, and that high force will be removing the selected portion of the semiconductor surface. That is called physical. So here it will be physically removed with the help of force generated by high ion bombardment energy of the ions. There will be no chemical reactions taking place. So here no chemical reactions. No chemical reactions will be taking place. And here high energy is going to each the semiconductor surface going to each the semiconductor surface like we are going to physically remove, like physically removing by high force. Okay, so this is the type of mechanism, that is a physical mechanism will be there. So its property is like it will be because it is using high uh, force, very high force will be using. So it will be of an isotropic in nature. The etching process will be anisotropic because the, in what particular direction we will be applying the force, in that direction only the etching process will be taking place. So it will be anisotropic. That means it will be a direction specific. It will not be uniform throughout the surface. It will be direction specific where we have applied the force. Okay. And also in case of selectivity, it will be having low selectivity. Why it will be having low selectivity? Because it will not be able to identify whether it is silicon dioxide surface is there or a semiconductor surface is there. Whatever surface is there, whenever we will be applying the force, it will be removing that surface. Okay, so it will not be having a selectivity property. selectivity will be very less in case of physical. The next method we will see. This is the fourth mechanism. So the fourth mechanism is energetic ion enhanced etching. So here energetic ion enhanced etching. So here basically we will be using, so it is a type of etching where it's followed, because in the first case it is having isotropic in nature and it is having high selectivity. In the second case, that is this one was chemical etching, chemical type of dry etching. It is physical type of dry etching. So physical type is obtaining an isotropic nature but low selectivity. So we can have this combined properties of chemical and physical type of etching. So that will be energetic ion enhanced etching. So here we will be using energetic ions with enhanced etching. Means enhanced means here we will be using a chemical so that we will be increasing the selectivity. So to increase the selectivity, because this is physical, in physical we are able to identify or obtain an isotropic type of etching, but here selectivity is low. So to increase the selectivity we will be using a enhancing agent. Okay, basically like a catalyst that will be helping in taking the reactions faster. Okay, so here basically we will be going to combining. It is like we are going to combine chemical plus physical properties. So in this, we are going to combine this chemical and physical properties. Okay. So it is not like physically combining chemical and physical properties, but it is this method, third one, this is not the fourth. This third method will basically have the properties of chemical as well as physical type of etching. Okay. So in that, we will be making we will be making the surface more reactive. Here we will be making the surface more reactive. Okay, so here we will be making the surface more reactive so that we can have the anisotropic type of etching along with having high selectivity. Okay, the fourth mechanism is ion inhibited etching. So as the name suggests, ion inhibited. So here we will be using a chemical that will be inhibiting the etching process. Here we were using the chemical that is going to enhance the etching. Here we are going to inhibit the etching. Okay, so here for example, suppose a heavily doped silicon is there. If we are going to react it with chlorine, this reaction will be highly reactive. Okay, so here if highly doped silicon is going to come in contact with chlorine, it will be of highly reactive nature. So it will be like a chemical reaction. It will be like a chemical reaction. But here to reduce this chemical nature type of reaction, we will be using a inhibiting agent. So this inhibiting agent is C2F6. Okay, so this will be used as an ion inhibitor. So this ion inhibitor basically forms, it will forms a film. It will form a film or we can call it it will form a layer on the silicon surface and avoid the reaction of chlorine with the silicon. So it will be inhibiting this highly reactive nature. So it will be reducing the chemical reactions. So if it is going to reduce the chemical reactions, that means we will be able to obtain this anisotropic nature of etching if we are going to reduce the chemical nature. Okay, so it will observe protective film so that it will reduce chemical reactions. If we are able, if it is able to reduce the chemical reactions, that means we will be able to obtain anisotropic etching and selectivity also. Okay, so our main motive was to obtain an isotropic type of etching, also etching that is having high selectivity. Okay, so the next we will see is there are different mechanisms. Now we will see the different techniques. So here in the next we will see the different techniques of dry etching. So there are three different techniques. Okay, so the three different techniques are like, first one is ion beam etching. Next one is plasma etching. And the third one is uh, reactive ion etching. Okay, so we will see these three methods. The first one is ion beam etching. So this was the setup in case of ion beam etching. So here in case of ion beam etching, this ion beam etching is also known as inert ion beam etching. Okay, so this ion beam etching is also known as inert ion beam etching. So here why this name inert ion beam etching? Because here this complete reactions will be taking place in the inert environment. So it will be taking place in inert environments. That means inside this chamber, inert gas like argon will be introduced. Okay, so this argon will be introduced inside this chamber. So there will be no chemical reactions will be taking place as it is going to take place in inert environment. No chemical reaction will be taking place. That is implying it is purely a physical etching. So here it is a purely physical type of etching is there. Okay, there will be no chemical reactions taking place, and this is a two zone system. What does it mean, two zone? In one zone, the ion high beam ions will be generated, and that ion beam will be exposed to the semiconductor surface that semiconductor surface will be placed in another zone. So this is the first zone, this is the second zone. So it will be a two zone system. Okay. So the ion generation will be done in first zone. So this generation will be done by electron bombardment on organ. So on organ on inert gas environment. Okay. So your ion bombardment will be doing on inert gas, and that will be generating the ions. Okay. So these accelerated ions now will be made to move in. So these generated ions are going to be accelerated. These ions will be accelerated by using the plates, and these accelerated ions will be exposed to the semiconductor surface, okay, or the substrate. So here substrate is placed, so these ions will be placed to the exposed to the substrate, and that will be etching the selector region. Okay, so in this case, the sheath potential that is generated is considered to be greater than 500 volt. So in case of the chart we have seen in the previous class, so the potential will be generated is such that the potential generated is more than 500 volts. So it is having high potential generation. And the pressure in this case, pressure of the chamber will be less than, we call it, it will be less than 2 millitorr. So torr is the unit to measure the pressure. So here the pressure inside the chamber will be less than 2 millitorr. Okay. Here the obtained etching will be an, you can say, anisotropy. We will be obtaining very good anisotropy because high energy ion beam is being bombarded to this substrate, semiconductor substrate, to selectively removing the surface. So it is going to give an very good anisotropic type of etching. But here the selectivity will be poor. So here poor selectivity will be obtained because it is a completely physical process. It is not a chemical process. If chemical process is there, there will be high selectivity. But it is a physical process, so it will be having low selectivity. So this type of system, if we are able to increase uh, if we are able to increase the selectivity, so if we need to increase the selectivity, we will be using some reactive type of gases. So we will be using reactive ion beam etching. So here some reactive gases will be introduced, so it will be reactive ion beam etching. Okay, so this reactive gas will be used, so that as it is a completely physical process, so now the process will be chemical process. Okay, because some chemical reactions will be taking place because reactive gases is going to introduce. So this will increase basically the it will increase selectivity. Okay, the next method, the second one, that is called as plasma etching. This plasma etching is also called as parallel plate anode. Okay, so here in this case, plasma etching, we call it plasma etching, or we call it parallel plate anode loaded etching. So here parallel plate, so two parallel plates will be used. So one will be the anode, one will be the cathode. A parallel plate anode loaded, that means anode we will be placing the substrate at the anode. Okay, so at anode we will be placing the substrate, and at another node the ion beams will be basically exposed. Okay, so this is the complete setup. In that, the property of this plasma etching is there, like here the pressure that we need to use, that we need to provide is, the pressure that is required is around 0.1 to 2 torr. So here the pressure will be somewhat more than the previous one method, and also here both the electrodes, both the electrodes, both the electrodes have same size. Here both the electrodes are of same size, considered to be of same size. Okay, and the wafers will be loaded because it is anode loaded. So the wafer or the semiconductor surface or semiconductor substrate will be loaded on anode. Okay, and that anode is always, that is, it is permanently made to ground. So this anode is permanently made to ground. So this anode is always ground, and at that anode terminal only the wafer will be placed. Okay, so your pressure will be 0.1 to 2 torr, and at this anode side the pressure is quite high. So at anode side the pressure will be around 1 to 2 torr. So instead of 0.1 to 2 torr, around 1 to 2 torr will be the pressure at anode side. Okay, and it will be powered by an RF frequency. Okay, so the generally most common frequency that we will be using here, the common frequency that is uh, uh, used is RF frequency, that is 13.56 megahertz. This is the common frequency. Okay, so based on the application we can increase and decrease also. This is the one of the common frequency, and here the sheath potential that is generated is less than 20 volt. So it is, we can call it low. So this sheath potential here is considered to be low. Okay, So why it is low? Because in the graph part we have seen like the seed potential, because the substrate is placed on anode, so the difference the potential difference will be from the positive potential minus the anode potential. So positive potential minus anode potential is very less, that is 20 volts only, so it is seed potential will be low here. Okay, so as it is having low seed potential, the ion bombardment energy, so the ion bombardment energy will also be here very low. So ion bombardment energy is very low. That means the etching that is done by uh, in this process basically will be similar to a chemical etching, because ion bombardment energy is very low. So that means the etching will be done by chemical reactions. Okay, so chemicals means chemical reactions will be basically causing the reactions in this type of etching. Okay, so if it is going to have the chemical type of reactions will be taking place, so the properties will be like here it will be having the property of isotropic in nature. So here isotropic etching will be done, and also it will be having, if it is chemical type of reactions will be taking place in the plasma type of etching. So here we will be having high selectivity. Okay, so as it is having isotropic nature, or we call it poor anisotropic property. So if it is having poor anisotropic properties, then we need to use some inhibitors, because here chemical reactions are going to take place. So to reduce the chemical reactions, we need to use to improve to improve this, to improve this we need to use inhibitors. We need to use inhibitors. So inhibitors here that is used is C2F6 gas. So C2F6 gas is used as an inhibitor in this case. Okay, so that we can obtain an anisotropic type of etching. This system, this plasma type of etching is a single zone type of system. It is single zone type of system. In a single zone only, acceleration and the uh, substrate both are placed, and here as the ion beam energy or ion bombardment energy is very less, then this will result in less damage to the less damage to uh, the semiconductor substrate, because here less bombardment energy is there, that means the less damage will be done to the substrate. Okay, so this is all about the plasma etching. The third etching that we will be discussing is reactive ion etching. Okay, so here in case of reactive ion etching, it is the etching process in that it is the process that is basically different from the plasma etching. Here the wafer we will be placing, the wafer is placed at cathode side or cathode electrode. So there are two electrode, anode and cathode. So here in the first one case, ion beam type of etching, at anode uh, wafers are placed. So here the wafers will be placed at cathode. Okay, and the RF power that we will be supplying, the RF power will be supplied to cathode electrode. So here we will be supplying the RF power at the cathode terminal only. So this cylindrical type of structure is looking like. So this is the cathode. Okay. So at this cathode is supplied by the RF energy source, and this cathode will be having the wafer. So that uh, cathode is a hexagonal structure. That is, this type of structure is there on the cathode. Okay, so on that there are different places are made for the wafer. So here at a time different, instead of a single wafer we can process different type of wafers at the same time. Okay, so here we can place we can say like higher number of wafers can be placed at the same time. What does it mean? It means it will be having high throughput. That means in certain time interval it will be having higher number of chips processed. Okay, so it will be having high throughput. So here RF power we are supplying to the cathode terminal. This will allow the grounded electrode to have a larger area. So here this electrode, here we are supplying the RF power to this cathode, and at this cathode is of hexagonal cylindrical type of structure. So the other terminal or other electrode, so the other electrode will have larger area than cathode. So here the other electrode, or we can call it the anode basically. So this anode can have larger area than the cathode area, because we are basically supplying the uh, RF power to the cathode, so that another electrode can have a high area. Okay, and here the operating pressure in this case is 5 to 100 millitorr. That means it is having quite higher pressure, operating pressure inside the chamber. This will lead to, as it is having higher pressure, this will lead to higher plasma potential. So the potential, plasma sheath potential. So here the plasma potential will be higher. So that higher voltage will be between 20 to 500 volt. So the range will be 20 to 500 volt in this case. Okay, it is implying that if it is having higher plasma sheath potential, that means higher ion bombardment energy will be there. It is implying like as it is having higher plasma sheath potential, it will be having higher ion bombardment energy. Okay, so as it is having higher ion bombardment energy, it will basically damage the semiconductor surface. Okay, so there are some disadvantages. So the disadvantage to this is like it will damage substrate, or we call it the wafer, because it is having high bombardment energy. And another disadvantage of this technique is it is not easily automated. So this system will not be able to easily automate. We cannot automate it easily. We have to do this manually, step by step. So it is difficult to automate basically. Okay, so that means if we want to repeat this process again and again, we cannot do like we can have a setup and we have one setup, it will be keep on processing by itself. So we have to make sure like it is having high bombardment energy, and the pressure and all other parameters we need to have a higher need to set again and again. Okay, so it will not be able to uh, automate easily. Okay, and in this case, as it is having high bombardment energy, it will be able to damage the wafer. So these are the disadvantages of this method. And as it is having high bombardment energy, it will be giving you out the anisotropic type of uh, etching. That means it will be direction only in one direction. That means it will be focused in one direction, so it will not be affecting the side walls. Okay, so it will be providing an anisotropic type of etching. Also here, as it is a reactive type of etching, so its name is reactive ion etching. Okay, so here we are going to use reactive gases inside this chamber. So here it will be having somewhat higher, we can not the highest, but it will be having higher selectivity than ion beam, because in ion beam it is a completely physical type of process, but in reactive ion etching, basically we are going to use reactive gases also, so it will be having better selectivity than ion beam type of etching. So this is all about the etching process.